A Welsh soldier captured by the Japanese and forced to work on the Burma Railway has finally been awarded a war pension 20 years after his death. His daughter began a campaign to get the widow's pension for her mother after spotting film footage of her father as a prisoner of war on the BBC documentary Timewatch. Caroline Evans reports.
It was a moment of revelation for Cynthia Thomas from Bridgend, seeing for the first time pictures of her father as a prisoner of war. It gave her a new understanding of his life and launched her on a crusade to finish for him the battle he'd failed to win, recognition of his service and his right to a war pension.
I just didn't know what to do with myself, because it's such a strange experience seeing your father in a domestic situation at home, your father giving you discipline and things like that. I knew little about his experience with the Japanese. When I actually watched the documentary right through and then saw my father, I was just horrified.
Tens of thousands of men from the British services died of starvation, torture and disease while working on the Burma Railway. Gunner Edward McCann spent 3.5 years in the hands of the Japanese. The appalling conditions and treatment he received left him with dysentery, malaria and American hookworm. His wife Joyce says he never really recovered from the memory.
He'd say he'd see the sun coming up and he'd think to himself, I wonder, is today going to be the day that I'll be liberated?
He was denied even the right to a defence medal because his time spent as a prisoner of war didn't count as active service. But he was a proud man and didn't apply for a pension until his health began to fail. In November 1975, his application was turned down because he was a smoker. The following April, he died, aged 56. Now, after 4.5 years of research and letter writing, Cynthia has earned a £16,000 lump sum and a £90 a week widow's pension for her mother. The tribunal backdated it to the time of the family's appeal, but Cynthia says for the sake of his memory and those like him, she'll fight on to have it paid from the date of her father's death.
I just think to myself, you know, it's ironic now that after all these years I saw him, and I just think that I think he'd be proud of what I'd actually achieved, because he was a fighter as well, otherwise he wouldn't have survived his ordeal, would he?
Caroline.